As I've said, while you're at home, stuck at home during this whole thing, you have two choices here. You can either come out of this healthier, in better shape, and smarter because you've been making good use of your time, or you're going to come out of this fatter and dumber. Your choice. So let's talk to some experts about that. Dr. Ian K. Smith has a book out called Mind Over Weight. Good morning, doctor. Thanks for coming on the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to talk to Wyoming.
So are you in agreement with my assessment that people have two choices, come out smarter and in better shape, or fatter and dumber?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is a time. My attitude is always make the best of a tough situation, right? So listen, a lot of us have to be sheltered in place, or, it's not business as usual. And so why not use this time to actually work on projects, particularly yourself, to improve? So my feeling is when I come out of this shelter in place or this quarantine, I'm going to be bigger, stronger, more informed. So, I think you should optimize the time to do better and look better. I want to feel great and look great coming out of this thing.
Now here's two of the problems here that a lot of people face. One, as you've noticed, the refrigerator has a psychic voice that will reach into your brain and drag you toward it. You've noticed that, right? Second, and this is a unique problem here at our radio stations, you just got off the phone with, and she's joining us now, the lady Alex, who when she gets bored, she bakes goodies, but she doesn't eat them herself. She brings them upstairs for us. Thanks a lot, Alex.
I feel like you're blaming me with that.
Very smart.
Just trying to help.
Yeah, just trying to help out. But okay,
so, it's interesting because in my new book, Mind Over Weight, I have a whole chapter that's dedicated to how do you crush the cravings, right?
Yeah.
And what most people don't understand is that cravings actually are chemically mediated. By that I mean it's all about your dopamine in your brain, which is a neurotransmitter. And what happens is when you taste something really good, your body releases and floods your brain with dopamine. Yeah. And your body then remembers, when I ate that chocolate chip cookie, it was phenomenal. And so going forward, your body stores that experience in its memory. So when you see a chocolate chip cookie, when you smell a chocolate chip cookie, when you think about it, then you release that dopamine, and then it goes to the part of the brain that tells you to go answer, that prompt. Well, the difference with that and hunger is that signal, that craving will go away after 15 or 20 minutes if you don't respond to it. So I talk about in the book how there are ways to distract yourself, there are ways to get around that 15 or 20 minutes so you don't give in. The other side of it, though, is, like you said, the refrigerator has a psychic voice. Well, if you can't avoid the craving, then let's fill the fridge with things that will satisfy the craving but won't put on, extra calories. So things like chocolate-covered strawberries, chocolate-covered bananas, watermelon, and feta, all these things I list out in the book as some alternatives when you crave sweet or salty or savory.
Okay. Now, on another, and this is another dopamine thing, the lady Alex, and for those who don't know, teaches a workout class. Alex, isn't there a high that comes with a good workout, and don't people want to come back for more?
Absolutely. I mean, you get the endorphins off of that kind of stuff, and that's why anybody exercises. Beyond wanting a certain physical image, the endorphins that come from that are a good way to supplement some of the dopamines that Ian's talking about with foods. At the same time, I kind of have the conversation that, I was flipping through your book, Ian, and honestly, intrinsic factors for like exercise and healthy lifestyle adherence tend to be the best motivator to keep people on that path versus extrinsic or intrinsic. I've always viewed your intrinsic factors are going to be the strongest ones there. But given the times that we're in right now, with the coronavirus out there, quarantine, shelter in place, things are difficult for a lot of people in a lot of ways. How would you suggest people overcome some of the mental and emotional barriers they might have for the intrinsic motivators? When your life doesn't feel the same, how would you suggest they can still try to get back to normalcy?
Yeah, that's a great question, and you are completely correct. When we exercise, we release those endorphins, which are the body's natural happy chemicals, which can be addictive in and of themselves. In first chapter 1, I talk about how do you find your motivation, how do you keep your motivation, and it's called Unlock Your Motivation. And Alex is talking about the external or extrinsic motivators, and just for clarification, that'd be something like, I want to lose weight and look great because I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks and I want to look great on the beach. So you are motivated by not something internally, but by the satisfaction of what you'll look like when you're on that beach. Versus an internal motivator is, I want to lose weight and get healthy because I want to lower my blood pressure because I want to feel better every day of my life, and I want to make sure that I don't have heart disease. That's internal. And science has shown us that when you have a combination of internal motivators and external motivators, because sometimes the externals could be more current and more pressing to you, like you got to go to a reunion, a school reunion. But what I do in the book is I try to get people to look at those two lists, and then at the end of the chapter, there's an action plan, and the purpose of each action plan at the end of each chapter is to get you to actually list what these things are so you have them ready for you. So you know that I am motivated because when I go, grocery shopping and people pay me a compliment how I look, that makes me go work out even more. And so those are the kinds of internal and external motivators that are important to put in the mix. And I think if people can identify them and write them down, then it becomes more kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, Dr. Ian Smith, I don't want to let you go because this is a good conversation, but you have other reviews and other places you have to be. The book is called Mind Over Weight. Where can they find it?
They can find it anywhere online, Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and my Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith, and I post some free meal plans and some exercise plans for people to do at home.
Okay, Doctor, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Nice talking to you guys.
Sticking with the lady Alex for just a moment. This is, to me, I think, interesting as far as motivation because on one hand, becoming a couch potato, Alex, I think we all do eventually grow roots, and then it gets harder and harder to motivate to get up and get out. But then there are those people like yourself, you just love working out. How do you transition from one to the next to be the kind of person who would rather be outside moving than and not seeing it as work, I think, is the big factor there.
Right. Well, and I think I kind of have two comments on that. One is that honestly, Ian's book does go over that pretty well. He says, like, in each chapter, he does kind of lay out the starting steps to make changes. And one of the biggest things you'll ever hear and ever read and ever be told is just small steps first. Like, do something you want to do a little bit first. And eventually, either the dopamines will kick in or who knows what, or you'll get used to the habit and you'll want to push yourself further, and that will help. The whole idea of like workout buddies and stuff, which personally I do not like. I don't want anybody like around me. I get into my own mental zone, but that's super important for a lot of people to get yourself started at least. Having somebody kind of side by side with you is a great way to put it. But at the same time, you make the comment that, yeah, I'm somebody who likes to be very active, and I either teach fitness classes or I attend them when I can. I just like to kind of run around, and it helps me get out some of my energy. Mentally, it's a good thing for me. But honestly, at the same time, I feel like this is a kind of accusatory mindset to tell people, like, in the situation we're in right now, you're either coming out dumber and fatter or smarter and healthier. Like, yeah. I love being active, but also I don't have my gym anymore, and I'm working more hours than ever before. Mm-hmm. Which is not true for everybody, but it's true. If it's true for me, it's true for somebody else.
And your work is sedentary.
Yeah, my work is sedentary, and I'm working way more hours than ever before. It's nothing that 12 to 14-hour days most of the time. My weekends are kind of a mess. The weather doesn't help. Like, I can do yoga or I can go for a jog when I can squeeze that in. But I don't think it's very healthy either to promote any sort of feeling of maybe guilt for some people that if your schedule has changed because of COVID-19, it doesn't always mean it's changed to give you more time and availability. If it has, absolutely embrace that. If it hasn't, don't take it too personally. Like, there are worse things that could be happening than you stopped your running routine. Just try to take care of your health, whether it's mental or physical. That's going to change, and it's going to be different for every single person.
Okay, now since we're plugging a book, I'll go ahead and plug mine, The Uncomplicated Life. I talk about this if you want to lose weight. Now, you love to go to the gym, and it's not just working out. You love your dance classes, things like that, but you'll also lift weights, and you'll get on the treadmill. Some people hate that stuff, and my answer in my book was, that's okay. Now, you know me, Alex, I like to go for a good long walk, and I love to find those neighborhoods with the beautiful homes. I'll put little headphones in and listen to a book, and I'll just go strolling around.
I was just talking about that kind of stuff yesterday. I love doing that too, honestly.
Well, you find what you love doing, and that includes, do you have a pet? Go play with your dog. They've been wanting to, and that's exercise.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely, anything can be exercise. You're walking around looking at houses, you're walking your pet, you're just walking to check out the weather, you're learning how to do yoga or something, or even better, just interacting with friends and stuff like that. Anything can be seen as just getting yourself to kind of move.
Yeah.
And again, if you have the time to learn that new hobby or to be more physically aware, great. If you don't, because like someone like me is going, I think, a little bit very crazy at this
Yeah.
rate,
Yeah.
that I don't have the time or the means anymore to do. I could go for a jog, but I can no longer go lift the weights that are not around me.
Sure.
Like
And-
that's not an
and-
option. I can do what I can, but
Real quick before I let you go, and I've also
Yeah.
walked into your office and found you were working, but you were working out while you were working.
yeah, I sometimes wind up in odd positions on the floor or something
Yeah,
like that, trying
something
to
like
do some yoga and stretch out. That has happened.
Okay. I got to let you go for time's sake. Thanks, Alex.
All
That's
right.
the Lady Alex on the line with me. 7:20 is the time. Wake up, Wyoming.